Hey, welcome to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy, and today I'm going to get into 5 games that totally flopped. These games did not work for us at all. We played them, and almost immediately we could tell that this was not going to go well, and by the end of the game, we hated them. Now, on our channel, we do a buy it, play it, hate it rating, and a lot of times red totally means that I just cannot stand this game. All of these games that I'm going to show you today get that red rating. And typically I like to be positive, uplifting, happy. Let's play games. Why spend all of our time being negative? But I thought I would cram all my negativity into one video, and I'm going to try to be objective here. I don't want to be over the top just pounding on these games and telling you how bad they are, but I do want to offer some opinion on why these games did not work for me. So here we go. Number 1 is Shipwright of the North Sea. Now I am a huge Phillips fan. I love his games. Raiders of the North Sea is my favorite game. Top of the list, right? I love it. It's medium weight. It's easy to play. There's lots of replayability for me. I love it. And so when I saw Shipwright of the North Sea, I was so excited to play it. This is a card-driven game where you are trying to build ships. And in our very first play of the game, there's an expansion that comes with it, the Townsfolk expansion. We didn't want to play with that yet, so we just decided to just play with the base game and see what it was like. By the middle of the game, we were having such a terrible time, but we decided to push through, and we played an entire game of it. And the number one reason this game flopped for me was there were so many rounds of this game that I couldn't do anything. I needed this specific card. I did not have this specific card. Okay, that was my turn, and it went on, and there were so many rounds that happened that it totally ruined this experience for me where I just couldn't do anything. That's got to be the worst feeling in a board game when you say, I want to do something, but I can't do it because I don't have this specific card, and you look at this stack of cards and you say, well, I wonder when I'm ever going to draw that card. Now, like I said, there's an expansion to this game, and when I went online and looked this up, everybody said, whoa, all the things you love or all the things you hated are fixed in that expansion. I didn't even want to put this game back on the table to try that out because I would have to convince everybody, hey, remember that game that really stunk? Why don't we try it again and see if it can get fixed? Nobody's going to do that. So my opinion, if there's an expansion that has to fix the game, just make that the game. Don't make it an expansion. And even just take that out. Tell us that's not the game is with the expansion. It's all in one. Play it this way or don't play it at all. I love Shem, and if you watch this, I'm so sorry, my friend, but this one just fell short for us. Number 2, this is a very popular game. It's called Pillars of the Earth, the Pillars of the Earth. Now here, this I will say at the beginning, this game fell flat for us, and honestly, it's no fault of the game. If you rewound the clock whenever this was first made up, I don't remember when it was, came out, 2000 whatever. This game was a great game. It's a worker placement game. It works. There's literally nothing wrong with the game. But over time, this game just does not hold up. There are so many better worker placement games that this one just gets left in the dust. And there's a difference because I play another game called Stone Age that is an old game, but even to this day, I would still play it. It holds up. It's a great game. It's fun. And Pillars of the Earth did not do that. Now, one of the reasons it flopped for us was because there was so much hype around this game. This game was crazy expensive. It was hard to find, so it was very valuable. This was a holy grail game for some people. And so when I finally got a copy of it and played it, and then I was kind of let down because I was like, yeah, it's a game. That's a game. It's a good game. I can understand why people like that 10, 15 years ago, whenever it came out. I get it. I know why that was popular. It just does not hold up today. So that is a flop. Here's one that I was crazy pumped about. I remember when I heard about this, there was so much hype around it. This was a legacy worker placement game from a big name company. You're going to love it. And so I pre-ordered this game and I got the recharge pack because I was so convinced that I would love this game that I was going to want to play it again. And it is Charterstone. Now, if you know me, I am not a big legacy guy. And the reason that I'm not a big legacy guy is because of this right here. I was super excited to play it. I was so ready for that legacy experience of maybe tearing up cards or putting stickers on the board and doing all kinds of things. And this game, when we played it, we got into it and we were confused There was not much to do. It took forever for us to get anywhere where we were getting some things going. And then my particular gaming group, we had some time in between plays. And so when we came back again and tried to play it, the rules were just too ambiguous for us. And so there were questions that we had, and are we doing this right? And there's no way to understand if we weren't doing things right. And I think that they tried to make a game that was self-playing, that you just sat down at the table and just went for it, and it just fell flat for us. This was a huge flop, so much so that I could not convince everybody to come back and even finish it. So I have an unfinished copy of this game and a recharge pack somewhere. And one day I'm just going to give this away to somebody and say, maybe you'll like it better than I did. And so that is Charterstone. Now, the next one I've actually already mentioned already, and I said that it is a great game, and it still holds up today. But there was an anniversary edition of this game that I was ecstatic to play. I was so ready for this because my family, my father-in-law, this is his favorite game, Stone Age. And when I heard that there was a 10th anniversary or whatever anniversary edition of this game, and there was a new theme to it, this was an ice theme. I'll just go ahead and put it on the table. It is the Stone Age anniversary edition of this game. And I saw this. I remember I was at Gen Con maybe, and I walked by the Z-Man booth and I saw it. I said, whoa, guys, what is that? What's that in the case? And I was trying to talk to, an employee there and say, hey, what's going on with this? Where's that at? And I was so excited. I took pictures and video, and I was waiting for this game to come out, and it finally did, and I got it. And I paid a ton of money for this game, and that's probably the reason that I'm so aggravated that it was such a flop. Is I think that this was like a $75 game that was basically just a two-sided board. And it makes me so mad that they took a game that they had so much potential to do a cool edition of this game, and basically all they did was just make a two-sided board. One side of the board looks this cool artwork, and then the other side of the board is the old version, which is fine, but they didn't even remake the cards. So you have the brown version of the non-winter cards that you're playing on the winter side of the board. They didn't really do anything special added to it. There's a mini expansion in there about igloos. This was such a flop for me, and I was so mad about it because they had such a great opportunity to do something great, and it just flopped. It was awful. And I really feel bad for retailers who went all in on this game and have a very expensive edition of this game. Your local game shop probably has a copy of this because they thought it was going to be great. And then it comes out, and now they have a high-priced game that an online retailer could sell so much cheaper that they're just going to have to sit on that game or discount it to get rid of it. And it was a huge, huge flop for me. We played this with the family. They're like, it's just the same thing. Let's just play our old copy that we love. I'm so mad about that game. So can you tell the aggression is growing? It's, okay, not a bad game. What a letdown. I'm so mad at these people. And then the last game, which is probably the biggest flop of all time for me, is Coaster Park by Pandasaurus Games. Went to Gen Con, saw this game, so excited about it. A roller coaster game with dexterity. You literally get to build yourself a roller coaster. I feel like my blood is boiling already. This is about as angry as I get, right? But you build yourself a roller coaster, and then you take the marble and you roll it down, and there's a game with it and all this kind of stuff. And I remember I pre-ordered this game, paid for shipping, so I'm paying full retail price plus the shipping costs on top of it. I get the game, and it is it's so bad. It doesn't even work. That is the problem with this game. This is why this is the number one flop for me. It's because it doesn't even work. It is not even good enough to be a toy. I played this with my kids, actually. I said, come on, Seth, let's sit down and just play with it. Let's just build a little roller coaster and roll it down the thing. And the marble always falls off. The marble doesn't stay on the thing. The game that they came up with is not a game at all. It's very tacked on, and they have this loop-to-loop thing in there, the loop-to-loop, and there are instructions on the loop-to-loop that tell you need to sit it out for a few days ahead of time, and don't forget it takes a lot of practice to do this, and it just feels like something that they had to put in the box because they knew that almost everybody, I would say 99% of people are never going to get that silly marble to do the loop to loop. It is the biggest flop I've ever had because I was so excited about a roller coaster game and then it's not even a playable thing. Okay. That's all the flops I got. And that's all the negativity that I want to have because there are a lot of amazing games back there that I can't wait to play. And in my next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about 5 worker placement games that I absolutely love, all that kind of stuff. But these are 5 flops of games that just did not work for us or did not work at all. So there you go. Thanks for watching the Board Game Closet. Let me know if I'm crazy in the comments below. We'll see you next time.